Villapoto tonight. I mean, he almost looks like he's riding better tonight than he was at some of the Supercrosses earlier this year.
Yeah, he's looking pretty fluid at this point. He's got to keep his head together, which, you know, Villapoto has always been such a great rider under pressure. And you got to think that that million being on the line and all that, that's a very pressure situation. I mean, he is exceptional when it comes to that. He just has a way to just zone out, or, you know, and focus on what he needs to, take all of the distractions and get rid of those. That's why he's such a spectacular athlete.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he lets too many things upset him, never has. You know, he just goes out there, does his deal, and rolls with it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he rides on emotion, right? No. He keeps all of that in check and just stays very level-headed. He keeps his emotion and everything out of it.
Not a boisterous guy in any way. Oh, Michael Alessi having his issues.
Well, of course, this knocks him out of the million, but there's a $250,000 purse for this event, too. So you get on into 10th place there. There's still a lot of cash to be made, cash that he needs. Yeah. And with this type of finish, man, he's going to be way down in that purse breakdown.
Wow, dude, this guy's checking out.
Ricky, how much of an issue, we talked about it in our feature piece where they discussed the silly season. How much of an issue is it going to be for Villapoto with Mike Fisher not be the team manager when we get to Anaheim?
No, I don't think it matters so much. I mean, you know, I don't know Mike too well, but obviously right now it doesn't look like it has any effect. There are great people out there. I think that they will find to replace him, and life will go on.
We did talk to the folks at Kawasaki about that at the Monster Energy Factory team. They are searching for that replacement for Mike Fisher. Expect to have an answer on what their plans are in the next couple of weeks. Here's Aaron.
Michael Alessi shaking his head in disappointment. What a day it's been for you. A big crash during practice, and now right out of the gate, you're having a mechanical. Walk us through what happened out there, Mike.
I don't know. Right as I came over the gate, just immediately the shifter was broke. You can see it right here. Just frustrating. I had a good jump, and as soon as I went to shift, it was gone. It just broke off. So hopefully do better the third moto. We'll go back and change the shift lever. So just how good stuff happens. Bad luck.
Best of luck for the third main event tonight.
Guys, that is a very, I mean, the shifter never breaks unless you wad it into something, right? I mean, for that part like that to fail, that's like a $30 part, that is got to be frustrating.
That's Ben Townley on the 101. He holds fourth. Eli Tomac on that Geico Honda, charging hard from fifth.
Remember Tomac, he was fifth in Moto 1.
Adam C. and Cerullo cheering on his heroes.
That's cool. Look at Tomac, man. That's pretty cool.
Tomac's there.
There it is. Inside move on Townley. Wow. Nice pass.
Watch this, though.
Uh-oh, a little retaliation coming up here.
Trying to get there. Clean. Can't get it done. Tomac pulls away.
Well, remember the race here that we had in that Supercross Lights finale, that West Coast finale. Tomac and Tickle, who were battling for that title just a few months ago, they were coming through the pack, and it was, I mean, it was scrambled. These guys were all over the place. So Tomac got a lot of experience, at least here this year, with that type of riding, trying to block that inside.
Ricky, one thing we haven't really talked about, you and Jeremy McGrath spent so much time designing this track. Are you happy with the way it's playing out?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more side-by-side racing, but we went with a unique design, some bigger jumps and things like that. It could be a little bit better, but you live and learn, and you improve it for next time.
Well, I'm not the only one that wants to ask you a question. We got a Twitter question for you, Goat. Do you think Villapoto's going to run away with it like you did when you were on top of your game?
I don't know. Obviously, right now he is. There's no doubt about it, and he seems like, you know, he's just taking all this momentum that he's had all year and carrying it on, and it seems that he's going to walk away with it. Yes, it does at this point right now.
Thanks to Sean J185 for the tweet.
But you never know. It's all in that start, too, you know.
Our system of bringing riders from the amateur ranks, like Cianciarulo, and those guys that came through the amateur all-stars and the Supercross Lights, and then on up to Supercross, right now is exceptional, and it seems like we don't just graduate like one superstar. It seems like there's 3 or 4, you know, extremely talented, you know, riders with a lot of determination. They've got preparation, and I think it's how they are making that transfer, like with Zach Bell going to the Factory Connection Honda team, already having experience with that team, and then when he turns pro, he's already had his mechanic, he's already been at the test tracks, and so it helps make that transition even easier.
Martin Davalos looking for a pretty good payday here today. He's running in 8th here in race number 2, chasing Jake Weimer, Villapoto's teammate on the Factory Kawasaki.
Pretty solid ride here for Davalos inside the top 10. He's got to be happy to be here riding this event. I mean, he's had some ups and downs here, and he's a rider from Ecuador.
Right.
And he's always been a real Supercross specialist, and especially at the beginning of the series when we race Monster Energy Supercross, he always comes in as one of the favorites, but he seems to not be able to put the pieces together with bad luck and things like that. So hopefully gaining experience riding in the premier class like what we have here today in this all-star type of event is going to help him once we hit January of 2012, because he will be a veteran and he's got a lot of Supercross Lights main events under his belt. Yeah. He's going to be expected to win.
No, absolutely. You know, you start to run out of time, you know, and you don't live up to your expectations. People start to kind of give up on you, really. So, and it's frustrating because he's such a great kid and he rides really good and shows a lot of promise at times.
Eventually the excuses of it's the equipment or bad luck or whatever run out and people just assume it's you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only blame it so many times on certain things, you know, and with this sport, a lot of it is on the rider, not like different sports, you know. It's there's not really anything to blame because all these machines are pretty good.
And that's one of the beauties of the sport as well. Yes. And let's take a look at our Dunlop replay from this race.
Watch this here. Villapoto just so focused, and it's a close one because you got Metcalf, Dungy on the inside, but Villapoto just gets a wheel on him.
Hey, Jeff, he didn't even shift. He left in second gear the whole way. Maybe that's the thing. Everyone else is shifting up, and he's just leaving it in second.
Hey, these 450s, they will run and run on them RPMs. Ain't like in our old two-stroke days. And that thing signs off and starts to over-rev. Oh, the horsepower decreases so much, so quick.
And look at how he is just charging, man. So much intensity.
And that's got to be a great feeling because they have this new 2012. They just kind of started with the suspension specs and everything. It's 2011.
Oh, okay. 2011.
No homologation rules needed for this event.
Oh, problems for Townley. Ben Townley's Kawasaki having its problems.
Shaking his head there, looking at the front wheel. Possibly something happened to the wheel, maybe flat tire.
Yeah, the flash.
He's talking about the bike.
Second in the first race. Oh. There goes the monster, well, not the monster million, but that 100 grand for winning. Out the door.
And that will certainly increase the amount of money that Dungy's going to take out of here. He's running second right now. He's looking at a third and a second.
That's pretty smooth.
See that throttle control?
Let's find out what the problem is with Townley. Aaron is with him.
That's right, you guys. Very disappointed, Ben Townley. Ben, the last time we saw you race Supercross was here in 2007. The look of frustration. Take us through what's going on with your bike right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Something's either wrong with one of the wheels or the disc or something, and I'm not willing to risk it, to be honest. It's when I'm in the air, the gyro isn't straight. Something's moving, either on the front wheel or the rear wheel. And I actually thought I had a tough lock cover caught, and it's not that. Something it keeps happening on the two big jumps, and yeah, I don't want to carry on. So.
What a disappointment for Ben Townley. He did say to me earlier that would rather be on no other bike than a pro circuit.
Yeah, and that's interesting. So what he's talking about is when he's in the air on those big jumps and you get a chance to kind of rev it out and the wheel's moving back and forth, right? So it's shaking the bike around and you know, hey, it's not supposed to do that. Like he said, he didn't know if it was on the front or the rear. They were taking a look at it.